My name's Jackie Delarue and I am CEO of Worry Wart Australia. I have recently launched a book called Worry, a Worry Wart's Guide to Self-Mastery. It hit #1 on the Amazon #1 bestseller book list. I have been an executive assistant for over 20 years, working in travel, law, finance and banking, human resources, professional services, and corporate banking, corporate finance. And I am so excited to be here today talking to you all the way from the Sunshine Coast in Australia. It's about 21 degrees today and the sun is shining. So my journey as a Worry Wart, I want to provide a vision to provide Worry Warts with a fun, learning, collaborative space to become worry-free. You would have received a piece of paper or a document that you can list out or mark off with a tick your little own checklist to define how much of a Worry Wart you actually are. #1, we'll go down the list. Perhaps you worry that you've got less years in front of you than behind you. For me, turning middle age, yes, I've had a good life, but I do worry that I don't want to end up a certain way. So I'm making an active change to change that, taking action. So tick off the list for #2. If you hear white noise, an example for me is trying to get to sleep when the TV in the other room is coming through the wall and all you hear is that white noise and you just can't switch off. #3, going down the list. Tick off if you have this inability to switch off. Are you unable to switch off? You just keep thinking about things. Your day at work, you just can't stop thinking about it. Perhaps you suffer from an overthinking brain. Next on the list, do you have trouble sleeping? For me, as a Worry Wart, I don't even understand or know why I'm awake at night. I just know that I've got perhaps something unconsciously I'm worried about. And it really detracts from me getting this beautiful, healing, healthy night's sleep. Next on the list, and check off whether you might resonate with this, do you struggle with boundaries? As an EA, it's very difficult to say no, especially a sensitive, empathic EA like me. I'm always saying yes. Yes, I can do it. I'm not lazy. Pick me, pick me. But often it comes at the sacrifice of your own happiness and your own boundaries. So set those boundaries. Are you a Worry Wart that feels knots in the stomach? This is our body's way of saying, listen to me, I'm going to give you a little knot in the stomach, which is also your other brain. It's where your intuition is. It sits in the stomach and it's telling you something. It's telling you that you are out of rapport with your unconscious mind. Listen to your body, because what I find is with worry is about living in the past and living in the future. It's actually not living in the now, and our body is in the now moment. It can't be anywhere else, so it's telling us something. So listen. Check off your list if you are overly proactive and efficient to the detriment of you and your family. Your husband sits on the sideline while you're at work, or your kids are waiting for mummy to get home. Just check off that list if that's you. Perhaps you're juggling kids, clients, and work, but not doing a very good job at any of it. You've got so much on your plate, you're in overwhelm, you're trying to do it all, and it's just not working. Perhaps you've got mind chatter and negative self-talk. None of it's positive, it's just negative, negative, negative. Check off the list if you're trying too hard to keep up with the Joneses. Perhaps that's a colleague at work that you admire. Perhaps it's someone next door that's got a nicer car than you, or the people up the road that you admire their house and you just wish you could live there. So recognize that, trying too hard to keep up with the Joneses. Perhaps you're stuck in the past where something tragic has happened and you just can't quite move forward. Perhaps something happened when you were a child, or it was something in your teenage years, or something around early 20s or mid 30s. Just wonder whether you've recognized and dealt with that event, or perhaps it's keeping you stuck in the past. Here's my worry wart story. I'm a worry wart, let's face it. I always have been, and I probably always will be. I wonder what it would be like or what I would do with myself if I didn't worry. I go to all these EA conferences and they talk about confidence all the time. And I look at myself and all I see is an anxious mess in one form or another. I Googled anxiety and found out that worry is about the future instead of being present in the now. What I wouldn't do to be grounded in my body, present to my life, to my children, to my partner, to my friends. Instead, here I go again, scrolling through Facebook, making myself feel bad about myself. I don't exercise enough. I don't eat right. Let's buy stuff. Let's drink some more wine. I know, I've got a solution. Let's scroll through Facebook again. I'm so busy being busy. I'm flat out being busy. I don't have time for myself. I don't have time to be a good mum. I don't have time to be a great partner. I don't have time to love myself. In fact, I hate myself. I'm a big, fat failure. I hate my job. I hate my home. I hate the chaos. I hate my car. I hate my clothes. I hate my handbag. I hate my food. I hate my choices. Oh my God, I'm nearly 40 and I'm just realizing that I've been sold a lie. The fairy tale that does not exist. Prince Charming is not coming to save me. I might just have to save myself. I might just have to kiss myself awake from this terrible nightmare. Oh my God, I'm such a drama queen. Am I being too dramatic? Maybe I should be grateful. Maybe I should just appreciate all my blessings. Not everyone has a car. Not everyone has a partner. Not everyone has the children that they've always dreamed of. Not everyone has a roof over their heads. Not everyone has a kitchen. Not everyone has a job. Now I feel calmer. I breathe. But for how long? Your homework is to write your own worry wart story and email it to me. I'm someone who can relate and understand. The journey ahead. It's fun, it's collaborative, and it's exciting. First of all, we uncover your worry pain points and triggers and help you understand worry. Second, we tackle radical honesty. We have to be really honest with each other. Third, I look at family, and especially what happened between the ages of 0 to 7, when we were like a sponge and we were listening and taking everything in. Then I look at self-leadership. How are you leading your life? How are you leading yourself? How are you leading others? How are you communicating? And we look at different personality profiles. And then I like to look at spirituality, understanding that we are greater than the you and I. We are energy. We are beautiful creations. And just understanding that is so enlightening and so beautiful. Then I like to look at health and well-being. My great-grand, her philosophy was, and I'll never ever forget this, and I want to share it with as many people as I can, your health is your wealth. And without it, you can't even earn an income, or you can't even do your job. So it's understanding how your body as a beautiful biomechanic machine, and it's so intricate and it's amazing, and all of our beautiful systems that work when we look after it in cohesion with each other. So our nervous system, even going down to the simple basics of how much water you're intaking. Are you eating all of the nutrients? Are you a well-being? Are you talking to yourself nicely? Are you body and mind are connected? So are you keeping the muscles in your mind active? And then I like to look at emotions. There's positive emotions and then there's negative emotions. And if we find it really challenging to handle our negative emotions like anger, sadness, guilt, fear, hurt, and shame, then we can be in situations then that we can trigger others. We can take out all of our anger and our emotions onto other people and create scenarios in life that are not helpful. And often it becomes a realization that it's not them, that it might be you. And that's where self-leadership comes into play. So it's about understanding all of that. And then I like to look at healing the feminine and the masculine within, understanding that we are both feminine and masculine. And if we're sitting too much in one or too much in the other, then we can be out of balance. So understanding the feminine is flowy energy, the masculine is very timely energy, and just making sure that we've got a balance of both. And I'll talk to you more about that later. Attachment. So this notion that something outside of me is going to give me happiness. That car, that house, that thing, that money, that blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is, it's not. I'm sorry to burst that bubble for you, because I've tried. I have built 3 different houses, and each house was beautiful. And I just had to keep selling them and moving into the other to try and find happiness. And understanding that something outside of me is not going to give me that. Happiness comes from within. It's an inside job. Then I look at worry and perception and perspective, because when we are deep in worry, we can lose sight of the bigger picture. So understanding the clarity that there's choice and that there is help out there so that you can get perspective. Then I like to understand where your happy place is. Perhaps you already know where that is, but perhaps you've maybe lost it, and it's about finding your joy and your passion again. Because for me, I know that worry, when it's expressed negatively, it can take my imagination down way, way, way into the future to the worst case scenario. If I look at worry and embrace it and then channel it into something creative, then that is beautiful. And that's perhaps about finding where your joy and passion is again. Because ultimately, we don't want to be trapped in the real prison of worry. We want to be free. We want to find freedom so that we can unleash and create our worry into something beautiful and creative. So the easy next step is, let's start this journey together. I encourage you not to be shy. Have a think about it, reflect on this, and come forward. It's not too late. Reach out for your free discovery session. And you can book that through me. Either email me with your Worry Wart story, or book on www.worrywart.com.au. Click free discovery session. Book yourself in now, or tick the checkbox down the bottom of your piece of paper with your details and click free discovery session, and I will give you a call within the next week.